Another bright sunny day. We're going to Grandfather Mountain today. Grandfather Mountain State Park, located in western North Carolina near Boone, has 3 sections connected by trails. There is the Boone Fork access area right off of Blue Ridge Parkway on the eastern side, the Profile access area on the western side off of North Carolina 105, and the southwestern access area off of US 221, which is a paid access area. Grandfather Mountain has been around for a long time. It's a very well-known place near Blowing Rock in North Carolina, but the state park has really only been established since 2009. Before that, or actually even now, there is a privately owned area called Grandfather Mountain that's got a swinging bridge and everything. That's still there. And it's still private, and you have to pay a fee to get there. But there is a big land on Grandfather Mountain. Callaway Peak, which is the tallest peak of Grandfather Mountain, is in the state park. And we are on the other end of the state park. We came up through the Boone Fork parking lot. The New Watley Trail ends up at this place called Story Rock. And we'll see how beautiful it is. That's the end of the trail. And this is in various places rated as either easy or moderate. But I would consider this moderate, not because of the distance or the elevation, but because the footing is just all rocks. And it's very uneven, so you got to kind of watch where you're going. And it does walk through some very thick rhododendron trees. We're here in September, but I imagine in the spring this would be beautiful with lots of flowers. In this area of Grandfather Mountain, you could make a loop. Now Watley Trail, followed by Cragway, followed by the Daniel Boone Scout Trail. And at the end of the Cragway, you see Flat Top Rock, which is supposed to be really beautiful. But from reading other people and the trail descriptions, Cragway is really strenuous and very narrow, very steep. So we decided not to do that today, but that would be a fantastic loop. Instead, we're going to, later on in the afternoon, go to the other side of Grandfather Mountain and do some of the trails on the other side. But you can, in fact, on the Daniel Boone Trail, go from one side of the park to the other. So this trail is rated on the state park map as easy. Yeah. But you tell me whether or not this is easy. You have to literally get on your hands and knees a little bit to go up this thing. Very steep rock going up. Yeah, right. This is easy, right? Definitely don't want to do this without good hiking shoes. And as you would expect, when you go up this high, you get a beautiful view. Hold on. At the end of the Newati Trail, you get a nice reward up here with the Storyteller Rock view, and get a beautiful view of those peaks up there. I assume one of them is Callaway Peak, maybe, and that's probably the path over to the swinging bridge up on that ridge there. This side of the park is right off of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and in the, I guess this is part of the Smoky Mountains, and the Smoky comes from the blue tinge that's kind of hanging over here all the time. Don't know if you can see that clearly in the background, but it's well famous for that blue tinge. The Boone Fork parking area is very, very popular because it's a trailhead, and you can see that the parking lot is completely packed. People parking on the side of the road and everything. You know, granted, this is Labor Day weekend, but nonetheless, if you want a parking spot on a weekend or a busy day, you better get here quick. Earlier in the day. Right now it's about 12 o'clock. And just look at the parking all the way down the street. People park on the side of the road. When we got here at about 10 o'clock, the parking lot was pretty full, but there weren't anybody parking on the side of the road like this. But 12 o'clock, you got to go a long ways to park on the side of the road here. Very, very crowded. It is Labor Day weekend though. But if you come here during the fall foliage season, I bet you it's the same thing. So we had this thing all planned out today. We're going to go to one side of Grandfather Mountain and then go to the other side. Now the other side is a paid area with a swinging bridge and some other attractions, and we didn't think much of it. As we got closer, we saw a sign that says reservation required. Yes, I know this is Labor Day weekend, but probably because of the pandemic, they had to limit the number of people. So they have reservations. And of course, we did not anticipate this. We did not have reservations. Well, so we kept going. Now, we figured, well, if we can't go to the trailhead by Grandfather Trail and I think it's Black Rock Trail, we go to the Profile Trail part of the park, which is sort of on the northwest side of the park. We got there at a little before 1 o'clock, and sure enough, the parking lot is full. So they won't let anybody in. So now we had, all planned this whole thing out. We got our Subway sandwich in the morning, and we were just going to go to a parking area or picnic area in the park to go eat. But now we're stuck. So we're in the town of Banner Elk, near a busy intersection in the parking lot of a barbecue place, eating our Subway sandwich. Of course, it is Loretta's favorite time of the day, and she is going to eat her sandwich. We're here on October the 18th, and at the top of the mountain, the leaves are just a little bit past peak, and in lower elevations, depending on where you are, the leaf season is either in peak form or slightly before peak. According to one of the naturalists here, this weekend is the busiest weekend of the year for Grandfather Mountain, and certainly there are a lot of people here. And you do have to make reservations. We made the reservation 2 or 3 days ago and paid for the ticket. And by the time we got here today, of course, the day was completely sold out. So we learned our lesson from the last time, made the reservations and came here. And came here during the fall leaf season. This side of the park has a nature museum, a small zoo, overlooks, and the feature attraction, the mile-high swinging bridge. The Grandfather Trail starts on this side, ultimately connects to the Profile Trail and the Profile Access Point, as well as the Daniel Boone Trail to the Boone Fork Access Point. Driving up the steep road, you can see an overlook looking down on McRae Meadows and up at Linville Peak before coming to the Nature Museum, Animal Habitat, Split Rock, and Sphinx Rocks. You can see elk, river otter, eagle, and the star attraction, bears. We skipped the bears because there was a long line, and we've seen bears in the wild up close at Katmai, so bears behind a cage is not that interesting to us. It is, however, cute for family and kids. Further up the road is hikers parking. The Black Rock and Grandfather Extension trailheads are here. The 0.6 mile Grandfather Extension Trail links a hiker's parking to Grandfather Trail with 300 feet of elevation gain. Raven Rock is another 0.6 miles with another 400 feet of elevation gain with ladders. This is not recommended for inexperienced hikers. We decided to skip Raven Rock and head to the Swinging Bridge to complete the loop back to the parking area. The Grandfather Trail that starts at the Swinging Bridge, it's 3/10 of a mile to a junction to Grandfather Extension. In that 3/10 of a mile, it goes up and down quite a bit. It's pretty strenuous actually, but it's actually a lot of fun because you're walking through these rocks and you're doing a lot of actual climbing. And it's definitely not even, so it's not for the faint of heart, but it's kind of fun. Hiking shoes. You need hiking shoes, yes. Do not do this trail without hiking shoes. Just look at the kind of things that you have to do. It's pretty steep. That's the other thing. You go up and down. The elevation change overall is not much, but you do a lot of up and downs. Well, you pretty much know when you get close to the swinging bridge parking lot, because you will hear the people talking and the cars running and people laughing and all that stuff. So you know you're getting close when you hear people. The swinging bridge is the star attraction of Grandfather Mountain. You can use the steps or the elevator to the swinging bridge. This is a mile-high swinging bridge, and there's tons of people on there. There's a line. You have to wait for the line. Look at the crowd. Way too many people for my liking, especially during the pandemic. The mile-high swinging bridge. Not much social distancing today. Yeah, definitely past the peak up there. Grandfather Mountain started out as a tourist attraction in the early 1900s, and in 1952, Hugh McRae Morton became the owner and built the mile-high swinging bridge. In 1973, an environmental habitat was built for Mildred the bear. In 2008, the Morton family sold the undeveloped backcountry to the state of North Carolina, and the state park was established in 2009. In the same year, the travel attraction was transferred to the Grandfather Mountain Stewardship Foundation, the nonprofit organization that runs the attraction today. Grandfather Mountain is a nice attraction for the families and the more casual visitor in the fee area, with a small zoo and a swinging bridge attraction. Grandfather State Park provides a nice variety of trails, from the easier ones at the Boone Fork access point to the strenuous Grandfather Trail, the Daniel Boone Trail, and the Profile Trail that links the 3 access points together. We are on our way to visit all the national parks in the United States. Follow along by hitting the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you know when a new video is released. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please share it with everybody that you know.